Hello, this is Carrie with Stampiphay, a great Stampin' idea. Hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to be doing an Emboss Resist with a stamp set called Totally Trees, which is in the Holiday Mini Catalog this year. I'm starting off by taking kind of like the snowbank or the ground, if you will, and just inking that up with my VersaMark. And what I plan on doing is embossing this in white embossing powder. And you'll notice that I'm not putting it all the way down at the bottom. I'm putting it kind of up a little ways. And that's because I plan on stamping a greeting underneath that snowbank later. Once I have that, the embossing or the VersaMark on there, I'm going to put the white embossing powder on there. Now, I normally would have rubbed this with my Embossing Buddy, but I currently cannot find it. So I'm kind of hoping that this will work out okay without too much static, but we'll find out. So I just let my heat tool heat up for about 30 seconds and then brought it to my paper. And the white paper I am using is our thick white paper. Because I'm going to be using some water, I feel that'll work better and take the water better. I think it would have worked out even better had I used watercolor paper, but at the time I wanted to use the thick white. So here I am stamping trees in VersaMark, and you'll see me wiping the bottom off a little bit, and that's me wiping the snowbank off because I don't want silver embossing powder to stick to that snowbank. I want the trees to be at different heights a little bit, and so I'm stamping them into the snowbank a little bit and just wiping that extra VersaMark off with my finger. Here I'm taking my silver embossing powder and applying it to the trees. That white embossing powder I did find out was really sticky. It wasn't as bad as I thought. I did earlier take like a bounce sheet because I can't find my Embossing Buddy, which would work way better. It didn't stick as bad as I thought it was going to stick. So I'm just going to take a paintbrush and brush off the areas that have powder where I don't want them to be. And it's kind of a stiffer brush, a too soft of a brush, and it won't brush the stuff off. So I just clean that up and then again hit it with my heat tool. If you make sure your heat tool is good and hot before you take it to your paper, it does help cut down on the warping of the paper, especially if you're doing acetate or vellum. So once I have the trees all done, now we can do the Emboss Resist. And what that is because you emboss, now that you go over with the reinker, which is Night of Navy, and some water, it does not stick to anywhere where you embossed. It only sticks to the areas behind it. So that's why when you add this nice Night of Navy watercolor on the top, those trees start to begin to come forward and really pop. And so I wanted to kind of give it a nice soft, snowy night look, just a nice soft peaceful look. Here I'm taking a little bit of the soft sky, just a little bit of a lighter color, and then going back again with my Night of Navy. I've added quite a bit of water to this, but you can play around with it and see kind of the look that you went through, and you can kind of see the blotchiness. Now when I first did this card, I was really worried. I thought, oh goodness, this is not going to turn out. But as usually happens when you're watercoloring, just let it dry and come back to it, and it looks really good. It's just when it's still wet, it just makes you a little worried. But don't worry about it. Just walk away, go to clean something like I did, and you'll come back and it'll be nice and pretty. So to help with kind of the warping of the paper, I wanted to flatten it out just a little bit. I put one of my heavier blocks, or some heavy blocks on top, and just set the timer for about 20 minutes or so, and then came back, and it was pretty flattened out and I liked it. So now we're going to finish up the card. We're going to stamp a greeting. I just took a Merry Christmas, and that is from, I'll have to put the link in the bottom because I can't remember the exact name, but it's the Star set. It's a really gorgeous set in the mini catalog. All the links for my supplies will be down below in the description box to help you out, and also over at my blog at stampiphay.com. So now that I have my greeting on there, it's time to assemble the card, and I really felt that our silver paper really just helped a lot with those silver trees. It kind of tied it all together and helped the card. I think it looked great. I love our silver paper. Actually, I love any of our metallic paper. The new copper that's in the mini catalog is gorgeous too. I've been having a lot of fun playing with that as well. And as cards go, this card is really simple to put together. This is a great card if you have a lot that you need to make. This one would go together pretty quick, and you don't have too many steps. You could finish a lot of these and send them out fairly quickly. And they're still really pretty. So the last step I wanted to do is there's a little stamp in the set that's kind of snow, or I guess you could pretend it's rain. I didn't want the snow to be really prominent. I just wanted it to be really subtle, just like a nice soft snowfall in the background. So I just stamped that over the top. You definitely want to do this when it's dry. And I did it as the last step because I know that the craft pad takes a little while to dry. So this way I could just set my card off to the side. And if you get a little bit on your silver paper because it's slick, you can just wipe it off with your finger and you should be fine. So that's pretty much the card. Since it is Night of Navy, if you want, I would recommend maybe cutting down some white cardstock and putting it on the inside of card to make it easy to write a greeting. I hope you like this simple card and have a great day. We'll see ya.